Welcome back. Before I take you to the next story, I want to read you an excerpt from a book on Ginny Ruffner and her art. It says, since the mid-1980s, Ginny Ruffner has been recognized worldwide as one of the major artists of the modern studio glass movement. Her lamped-work glass sculpture, which has been selected for shows and museums in Switzerland, Australia, Japan, and the United States, has dazzled audiences with its playful imagery, insightful illusions, and intelligent commentary. Now I'm going to read you another excerpt. This is from the New York Times Magazine, an article that was written about her, because this will further explain what Ginny is all about. In 1991, her brain was severely injured in a car crash. She emerged from a coma 6 weeks later, impaired in almost every way, speechless, unable to move, and in such a blank mental state that she did not know her own taste in books, food, or most important, her art. Paintings that had once thrilled her now left her politely puzzled. Her deepest pleasure had been rendered inscrutable. Her words are slow and slurred, and her voice quavers. We visited Ginny, and I have to tell you that years from now, I'm going to look back on that afternoon as not only a thrilling experience, but probably one that will have had a profound influence on my attitudes about my own life. She is truly an incredible woman and an inspiration to all women. Watch this story. And now I'd like you to meet Ginny Ruffner. Ginny, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a real honor.
Thank you. I'm glad you could come by.
Just drop by, right?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd ever meet you. I've looked at your work. It's just wonderful. It's so imaginative.
Thanks.
And I want to ask you, you know, as an artist, I know you started off as a painter. At some point, you discovered glass. But there are so many forms of glass, and you've sort of zeroed in on not blown glass, but do I call it rod glass? It's working with glass rods more than it is blowing it or forming it. Why did you do that?
It's called lamp working or torch working.
Lamp work.
Yes, and the reason I chose it was it's a lot like painting in that it's additive. You, like brush strokes, you make all the parts first and you put them together in one sculpture so that you can assemble the parts and kind of get an idea about it.
So it's really, they are strokes, each piece, as opposed to building one big piece or sculpting that way or blowing one big piece. You're working with individual pieces, and it's the assembly that makes the work.
Yes.
Ginny, your staff are using colored pencils on your glass, and you color your glass, but I also see them using paint.
Yes, we use a variety of things, just about anything. Oil paint, acrylic paint, color pencil, ink, enamel, charcoal, pastel, anything. And we spray it with a fixative so it has a similar consistency in life as a drawing. You treat it like that. The substrate is glass instead of paper, so it's considerably more stable, but it's like a drawing.
So you combined your original art form of painting with the glass, and it pulls it all together.
Right.
Now, your glass forms, I mean, they're organic, some of them are erotic, they're simple, they're delightful, they're whimsical. I mean, I can't think of enough words to describe what I see. What inspires you?
Everything, my whole life. I put my whole life in my work. Right now, my garden is a big inspiration, but my cat, my house, my garden, the affairs of the heart, intellectual curiosity, everything gets mixed into the stew.
Into the stew. That's such a good word for it. But where are you going to go from there? I mean, you have a certain style right now that's working and that has become a collector medium. There are books written about it. It's in your portfolio. But you're too eclectic an artist to stay there. You're going to go someplace else. Where are you going next?
Well, I like to leave it open to chance possibilities. So the part of it I don't know, but part of it that I do know is I want to make things, or I'm starting to make more things that are bigger than me and that I can kick. I always like that because glass breaks so easily. It's good to have strong things. I like to use steel and glass together. I like the contradiction of strength and fragility, preciousness and mundane. So I'm making larger scale sculptures. I'm also painting more.
And what are you working on here? We interrupted you, and you're working on something that looks very large, but I'm not quite sure what it is. And I know I'm not supposed to ask that because doesn't have to be anything in particular.
But this time you're safe.
Oh.
It's a large painting on paper. I want to make a group of large botanical paintings on paper that I would put together to make one really large, I'm talking like 25 feet square.
And where will this be?
Who knows? I just do I do a lot of these things just for me. It turns out that people like them, and so they go out to the world and paint for themselves. But originally, I make them for me.
Where would you like to go from here?
Well, I would like to make larger scale, more large-scale public art that is available to more people than just people who come to museums and galleries. I want to keep making art and make my house even bigger if I can. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. And I don't know, I want to keep being able to make new things that I've never thought of. I've been asked to design my second Harley and a rug and a lighting and a bunch of interesting projects like that.
Ginny, from what I see, there's no end to where you're going to go with your art. Thank you again for being part of the show.
Sure, thank you.
Now, I don't want to interrupt you. I think we're going back to work here.
Okay.
I'm going to learn. Her glass work is amazing. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to see how Ginny lives. You won't believe it. It's a riot. Stay with us.